Hello, on this video we're going to see how to recreate this slash blue effect. This effect is composed by three different particle systems. If we take a look, there's this slash, this is a mesh that's rotating along a path, and then at the same time a bunch of particles appear. Some of them are sparks and some of them are this kind of smoke. And this is what we'll be trying to recreate. Pay attention to this one because it has a complicated setup. Let's go. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is go here into Effects, Particle System. There's a trick that we can use. That's when we want to have a parent particle system that drives all the ones that are beneath with these controls here and with the logic overall. What we can do is here call it slash parent and just leave it empty by disabling everything, so no emission, no shape, and no renderer. And now we can place another particle system beneath. So we can go here, effects, particle system, hopefully it's in 0, 0, 0, restart, we get this scrap particle system, and we won't want this, so we can add the all-in-one VFX, we can add the particle helper. I really like to have this above. Thank you. And now we can change the emission options to burst and only one particle because we'll want to use a mesh for the slash here. So let's see what I'm talking about. Let's enable the selection wire to see the mesh that we'll add now. And we'll go here renderer. Instead of billboard, we'll go mesh and we'll add a slash mesh. It's this one. And let's reset. So it's this round thing. We can go here in the mesh folder and there's a lot of things that you can use. All of them are super useful and they are UV mapped to be used in VFX. So all of them can have interesting textures scrolled across them in cool ways. So all these slashes can have noises scrolled across them, the spirals and everything. I recommend you to take a look. Anyway, let's go back to the slash. So instead of aligning it to view, like here, that it's always looking to the camera, we want to align it to local. And this local means this transform position, so we can rotate it to 90. Okay, please, 90. And this will be flat. And now let's take a look at the setup for our slash in the material. So the idea is that we'll have here a texture that is called slash mask. And this thing, as you can see, is a mask on this front area. Let's disable the selection wire. And now that we have this mask, what we can do is add some noise textures. So noise, and let's try, I don't know, this texture. Oh, wow, this looks super cool. So we have this mask and beneath we have this texture. And if this mask is masking this one, we get this cool result and we can scroll it across and we can even add more detail by scrolling more than one texture. So let's choose a random texture, like for example, this one, bam, here. Okay, I'm not liking it, the darker one, this one, and now we can see how this looks. So debug, and I'm not liking this. Let's, like there. And there, and I don't care about this seam. Hopefully it won't be visible here, and it's not, so this is fine. I'm liking this. I will change how this is blended. I want this to be less visible, like this, and this will be the result. Now we can change the preset. We can make it additive, and this will be our slash. And now the idea is that this particle system will start like this to the side, and we'll do like in 0.2 seconds, do like this. And it will rotate over lifetime. So to do this, what we can do is go up here and go 3D start rotation. Let's see what direction it is. So it's the Z. So we can start the Z axis on like 75 and we'll want to rotate it to the other side. So what we'll do is here I will disable all the options here for now. Okay, we want to change the radius so it doesn't go all over the place. So radius is 0 and no speed, thanks. Okay, this is good. So it's starting to the side and we want it to rotate to the other side in 0.2 seconds. Let's see how this works out. And then we'll go rotation over lifetime. We'll separate the axis and we want to reach the other side. The other side would be oh, this is not where we want to reach, it's the speed. So the speed, oh, it's the other direction, maybe something like this. So it starts in one side and goes to the other side. So we hopefully want to end like around here, and it's ending more far away. So what we can do is just make the lifetime shorter. Dirty hack. So at what time is it there? So it's like 0:16. So we'll come here, 0:16, and now it does the slash. Maybe we can make it a tiny bit longer. Okay, this is cool. And now what we may want is for this slash to get faded when it's like going across. So we can very easily do this if we come here, alpha effects, procedural dissolve, and this will, with the alpha, we can drive this. So we control this with the color over lifetime, and we can make that it goes like this until it disappears. So we can make the fade transition much higher so that this fades more soft. And now we can come up here and we can set up a color over lifetime. So color over lifetime here, boom. We want to fade at the beginning. So at the beginning it will be 0, it will go to 1, it will stay full opacity, and then here it will go from here to there and decrease. Let's see how this looks. Okay, you cannot see anything, but if we do it in slow motion, we can see a very tiny fade here at the beginning, and then it fades away. But the way that it will be more visible is if we make here fade amount affects global transparency. So when this is getting driven by the alpha, you can see that it's also getting more transparent. So hopefully it's more visible now. So it fades in, it slashes across, and it disappears. I want to increase a little bit more these areas just to make it a little bit more visible. So like this, and this will start earlier. Let's see how this looks. Okay, it's still not very visible, but hey, it's there, and this is how it will stay. And now we can color this thing and see what results we get. So we can name this slash, well, it will be red. I really like red, and we haven't been doing enough red things. So up here, save material to folder, and now we can go below and go to color ramp. We can try something red. Okay, this is almost perfect already. Wow. Anyway, let's use an editable gradient, something like this. That's the one from before, I think. So we can try this is too dark. Oh, I understand now. Okay, so full dark, and then red, and goes to very orange. And here I want to be more orange instead of... Yeah, okay, this is very red. I like it. I want this to be more saturated. You can change here instead of RGB. This is pretty useless. You can use HSV. It is much better. And now you can go to glow. And I want some red. Red glow, intensity. Yay, nice. It reminds me a little bit to Death's Door. Great game. And we can increase this a little bit more. Okay, nice. This is pretty cool, and now we can add some particles. So the idea is to have some particles spawn across the outer rim of this thing. So what we want is to spawn across this area here. So to change that, we can go into the shape, and it will be a circle, but this circle needs to be radius something like this, and the thickness will be like this. So the particles will get spawned in between these two rings. So maybe a little bit smaller, and they get spawned from like inside. So this is the area where they will be spawning. This can be thinner. And now we need to limit the arc. So if we decrease this, we'll see that there's a gap forming in between. So now this gap, we need to rotate the whole thing, and we'll rotate it on the z-axis. This is fine. Okay, and this is the particles that will spawn. And now we just need to have a better shape, not this orb that is very ugly. So we can have a stretch billboard. Let's see how this looks. Okay, not very good. We need to make them thinner. The start size will need to change. We'll make a 3D start size, but we want this to be thinner. Something like this. Let's see now. And the problem is that it's spawning very back behind, like it's spawning here, and we probably want it to spawn inside this area. So we can go here to the pivot down below, here in renderer, and increase the pivot and move it forward. Okay, done. This is our result. It's not too good. It needs a lot of work. Then we can copy this and do some smoke in a similar way. And I think you will be able to carry on. The most important thing is how we set up the slash part and how we have this parent that by pressing restart, it will call the other ones. And now if this was a game, we just need to position this thing on top of the character and we'll have the slash automatically happen. But if you put this inside your game, please do a better Sparks than I did. And if you have any questions, please let me know.